David Stewart here. I thought I'd take a minute and talk to you about the classical guitar today, and this is going to be a series on basic techniques for the classical and flamenco guitar. So this first video we're going to talk about terminology, parts of the guitar, and some of the classical and flamenco specific terminology we use. So first we'll start with the parts of the guitar, and this part is called the headstock. This whole part here is the headstock, and on the headstock are the tuners, sometimes called the pegs. Some flamenco guitars have actual pegs like a violin, but that's kind of a rarity these days. On this part where the headstock joins the neck, this is the nut. This holds up the strings over the neck. This part on the neck is the frets. These are these vertical metal things. And we press down on the fingerboard, otherwise known as the fretboard. They're synonymous. This is the body of the guitar. On the body of the guitar there are several parts, not as many as the electric guitar obviously. There's the bridge, which is this whole assembly. On the bridge is the saddle or bridge bone. Bridge bone is used more commonly in classical guitar. Okay. On this guitar there's actually a part, I don't know if you can see it, this piece of plastic on the top. This is called a golpeador. A golpeador allows you to do percussion on the top of the guitar, usually by tapping with your fingernail. That's common in flamenco music. This is actually a flamenco guitar. It's very similar to a classical guitar, except it has a very, very low action near the bridge, if you guys can see how close that is, and a very, very low action at this part of the neck. Okay, and that we use that mostly to play a lot of different slurs and those sorts of things, and to facilitate the tapping on the top. This part is called very creatively the sound hole. The sound hole. And around the sound hole is the rosette. That's this decorative part here. Different makers will have different levels of complex rosettes. Okay. These are the bouts. These are the sides, otherwise known as the bouts of the guitar, and the back. And the top of the guitar is called the soundboard, because that's where the sound comes from. So those are the different parts of the guitar. Some other important classical specific terminology. You need to know the number of your fingers, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you need to know the letters for the fingers of your right hand. So the left hand, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right hand, P, I, M, A, and this one is either S or C, depending on what music you're using. These are Spanish words, so this is pulgar, this is actually annular, not index and middle. And this S, if you see S, that doesn't actually stand for anything. It's just when this was beginning to be notated for the pinky. This is called pequeña in Spanish, but we already had P for pulgar, so we just used S. And the first person I know of to do that was Juan Serrano, who was actually my old teacher. So 1, 2, 3, 4, P, I, M, A, S for the right hand. Okay, we have 3 different techniques. We'll talk about those in future videos. Those are apoyando, which is rest stroke, free stroke, and then rasgueado, which is playing with the backs of the fingers, and that's where we do use the pinky. So we'll get to that in some future videos. Thanks for watching.